Halloween. Should a Christian celebrate it? According to a recent poll, 52% of Christians believe that Halloween is a harmless holiday, while 48% believe that it is a celebration of the occult. Unfortunately, I couldn't independently verify the poll results, but it does make you think, doesn't it? More than half of believers, wherever this poll was conducted, celebrate Halloween, leaving me with the question, is it okay to celebrate Halloween or not? Firstly, Christianity is not a set of rules type of religion. It's a relationship-based religion. There are, however, guidelines which make your life easier if you follow them. If Halloween is occultic, the Christian who celebrates won't necessarily now become possessed, but partaking in occultic practices does open spiritual doors to the enemy. If you don't believe in Satan or spiritual attacks, please don't watch this video. Rather Google Peppa Pig and continue living under the bucket you choose to live under. That being said, now we have to determine whether Halloween is indeed an occultic practice or not. Halloween is obviously immensely popular in America and growing in popularity throughout the Western world. Americans spend over $9 billion annually on Halloween. Now that is a huge amount of money and thereby leads to Halloween being pushed like a smaller Christmas by retailers who stand to make a fortune of it. But super sales apart, where does Halloween actually come from? Quoting an article on www.bibleinfo.com, which reads, "The word Halloween literally means the evening before All Hallows Day or All Saints Day, celebrated on November 1. Halloween is also the shortened name of All Hallows Evening and All Saints Eve, which is celebrated on October 31. The origin and meaning of Halloween are derived from ancient Celtic harvest festivals, but more recently we think of Halloween as a night filled with candy, trick-or-treating, pumpkins, ghosts, and death." End quote. Halloween is said to have originated in Britain and France roughly 1900 years ago, when Druids, which is a priest, magician or soothsayer in the ancient Celtic religions, celebrate 1 November as the beginning of the new year, when the souls of the dead mingled with those still alive. Once again, quoting that article on bibleinfo.com, "As the population began to convert to Christianity, the holiday began to lose its popularity. However, instead of eradicating pagan practices such as Halloween or Samhain, the church used these holidays with a Christian twist to bring paganism and Christianity together, making it easier for local populations to convert to the state religion." End quote. It was also believed that demons roamed the streets on Halloween and could harm the locals or play tricks on them. The only way it was believed to stop these demons was to offer them things they liked, like sweets, etc., which lives on in the much propagated American trick-or-treat tradition. I quote to you from an article on www.focusonthefamily.com. "On a general level, Halloween is a time of the year celebrated by advocates of Wicca, a network of practicing witches. As the official religion of witchcraft, Wicca believes October 31 to mark the time when the separation between the spiritual and physical realms is the thinnest. In other words, Halloween is the best time to try and interact with the supernatural realm, according to Wiccans." Going further, some of the other worldly connections align with Satanism. Halloween has always maintained a relationship with occultism. Additionally, Halloween's premise includes an intentional and public display of imagery, mischief, and behavior generally looked down upon any other time of the year. End quote. So these pagan and satanic organizations celebrate Halloween as a holy day to them, influenced by pagan practices, demons, and magic. While the Word of God says nothing directly concerning Halloween, what does the Bible say about magic, pagan practices, and calling up the dead? 1 Corinthians 10 verse 31, Paul writes, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God." Speaking of magic now, Revelation 21 verse 8 says, "But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur." This is the second death. Ezekiel 13 verse 20 and 21 says, "Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against your magic charms with which you ensnare people like birds, and I will tear them from your arms. I will set free the people that you ensnare like birds, I will tear off your veils, I will save my people from your hands, and they will no longer fall prey to your power. Then you will know that I am the Lord." End quote. Demons are Satan's minions and thought to be fallen angels, so it's obvious God does not want us following them in their rebellion against Him. Communicating with the dead, Leviticus 19:31 says, "Do not turn to mediums or necromancers. Do not seek them out, and so make yourselves unclean by them. I am the Lord your God." Necromancers are, of course, those who call up spirits of the dead and talk with them. Isaiah 8 verse 19 and 20 says, "And when you say to them, inquire of the mediums and the necromancers who chirp and mutter, should not a people inquire of their God? Should they inquire of the dead on behalf of the living, to the teaching and the testimony? If they will not speak according to His word, to this word, it is because they have no dawn." End quote. So now we have established that many practices associated with Halloween are indeed non-Christian. Does that, however, mean you should abstain from celebrating? Titus 1 from verse 6 states, "An elder must be blameless, faithful to his wife, a man whose children believe and are not open to the charge of being wild and disobedient. Since an overseer manages God's household, he must be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Rather, he must be hospitable, one who loves what is good, who is self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. He must hold firmly to the trustworthy message as it has been taught, so that he can encourage others by sound doctrine and refute those who oppose it." End quote. Now, an elder or an overseer can be seen as a follower of Christ, someone who must be an example for others to strive towards and to lead those to Christ who do not believe. If then there are so many pagan and plainly sinful connections to Halloween, which may actually lead to opening doors to the enemy to spiritually influence you, the question to me isn't whether a Christian should celebrate Halloween, but rather, why would a Christian want to celebrate Halloween? When you live your life for Christ, you do not want to drift away from Him. You do not want to associate with those that rebel against His leadership, unless you are trying to lead them to Christ. Halloween includes magic, demons, and the dead as pillars of the celebration. All three things God warns us against, or things that rebelled against His rule. The choice is obviously in your own hands to join in Halloween celebrations or not, but personally, I would advise against it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the video. Please think about subscribing and sharing. God bless.